that will be used to bring him down. So yes, the weather and all of it will be used in the destruction of the white man. Yes, ma'am. Walaikum salam.
Do you think that because there's an altercation between that and the way the America has stepped in it or intends to step in it, that it will cause oneness and problems for those of us with economic ties over here?
Those of us that what?
With Islamic background, Islamic ties, as it did with the Japanese, and there was the war with Japan.
Very good question and very good point. Sister is saying because of the war that has been declared against the Muslims in the Gulf region, particularly surrounding Iraq and Kuwait, do I feel or do we feel that similar to what happened with the Japanese when America went to war with Japan, that America set up internment camps or detention camps or concentration camps for the Japanese inside of America to make sure that the Japanese did not start a fifth column movement inside of America. Do we feel that America, in words, would do the same thing with Muslims inside of America? Well, in my judgment, that possibility is stronger than just possible.
That's right.
He's probably planning something like that anyway. In fact, we are taught that there will come a day when we will have to go underground.
That's right.
The Quran speaks of a day when we will have to close our doors and go into our homes. That there will be an underground movement. We just have to make sure we've done everything that we're supposed to do before that day comes. But very definitely, sister, it should bring pressure to bear against Muslims inside of America with him fighting Muslims outside, especially radical revolutionary Muslims.
That's right.
The Muslims who are reactionaries and who are more in line with America and under the thumb of America and the control of America, he will probably attempt to use them against the radical revolutionary and upright and righteous Muslims, as you see him doing over there right now. He got all the reactionary Muslims together. Only Gaddafi stood up with Saddam Hussein openly against all the other Arabs. Gaddafi said, I'm with him.
That's right.
And the people in Libya started signing up for a volunteer people's army to go and join their Arab brothers in Iraq. See, that's the way to do it.
That's right.
But when you're afraid of the enemy, and when your enemy attacks your brother or your sister, you back away the way they did when the enemy was attacking Minister Farrakhan. And all the Negro leaders ran scared of Minister Farrakhan. They did the same thing with Dr. Martin Luther King. That was a time when the Negro preachers wouldn't touch Dr. Martin. They said Dr. King was a troublemaker. They said we had this thing all worked out. Till King, till Martin started causing trouble. Martin started causing trouble. It got us all in trouble. So they wouldn't let Martin in the church. Martin couldn't preach from their pulpits. Kept him out of the church. You know I'm not lying. They hated Martin Luther King. Because Martin, even in the fact that we don't agree with all of his philosophy and tactics, Martin Luther King was sincere. Martin Luther King was dedicated. Martin Luther King loved his people. He just judged the white man by his own good heart. And you can't make that mistake with this devil. But they hated Dr. King for standing up and challenging the white man.
That's right.
So these Negro preachers banned against Dr. King. Yes, they did. And the civil rights leaders, some of the key ones were preachers and still are, banned against Dr. King.
That's right.
So that's the way the Arabs are doing over there, and that's the way they'll get many of the Muslims to do inside of America, to join with them against the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who's the strongest Muslim leader in America, the strongest black leader in America, the strongest leader in America, period, be it black or white, and the man who was born for this time. Can't we build a mass movement in New York around the leadership of Louis Farrakhan? Build a movement so awesome until even the subways don't run unless we say so. You mistreat us and the subways stop. Everything stops. There's no subway driver would have the nerve to get on there and ride on the train. Everything stops. We gotta build that.
That's right.
We're at war.
That's right.
This is not just about white shirts and bow ties. This is not just about white dresses and headpieces and galays and wraps and beautiful colors. All that's fine. This is serious.
That's right.
You're the most serious people around.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right.
And you're among some of the most serious in America or in the world that has the nerve to stand up and challenge the white man.
That's right.
He's awesome.
That's right.
But you have decided to stand up and challenge him.
That's right.
And stand with the God who has come to destroy him.
That's right.
You've decided that. That makes you the most dangerous. And that makes you public enemy number one. Public enemy number one. Yes, sir.
As a concerned brother, you know, I can't help but think. Do you think Minister Farrakhan will make a statement pretty much so to younger brothers, you know, here in this country of ours, to let them know where the nation stands? Or do you think that might be putting too much out?
I think he probably will. And be it the will of Allah, I'll see him in a few days out west. And I will ask him. And then however Allah guides him, I'm sure he will. And we need to get the tape from last Sunday at headquarters. In fact, we should get the tape from headquarters every week.
That's right. That's right.
Every week. So you don't lose touch with headquarters.
That's right.
Who would be responsible for that? Every week we should get the tape from headquarters. We'll find out the best way to do it.
Yes, sir.
But he spoke on the war with Iraq and Kuwait and America lining up her forces and pulling together all of these other devils and from all around the world. It's almost like with Hitler.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Sister Shala says she will work with making sure that she makes the proper contact probably with Sister Patricia Muhammad, who I think handles the tapes and everything, to make sure we get it from headquarters every week. But they lined up all of the allied nations against Hitler. Now they're doing all of this against one little Saddam Hussein. And he's no fool. I love his military strength. He got those thousands of hostages. He say, come on with it. He said, I'm going to put some of your blue-eyed people everywhere I think you're going to drop a bomb or strike. So when you hit, you're killing your own kind. That's good military strategy. Actually, he has the white man in checkmate right now. They got to start a new game and take this game to another level. It looked pretty bad for him at first. He said, hey, I got something to bargain with. See, Bush made a big mistake. Bush committed himself and committed his troops before he made sure to secure the white American nationals who were trapped in Iraq and Kuwait. He should have made sure to secure his white American nationals first and then move behind that. But when he moved first, he provoked Saddam Hussein to then take his people that are in the country, white people, and hold them hostage. And then scatter them out to the major strategic positions. It's a good move. I love it. Good idea. when this devil move on us, maybe the talk in the streets will be to take hostages, white folks hostages in every house. Everybody have a cracker. Everybody have a cracker. So we all got us a hostage. If you kick the door down and shoot in here, we got Operation Human Shield. It's really not human. Operation Devil Shield. Take a hostage. It might be the talk. I'm not suggesting that. It sounds like a good suggestion. I don't know where it came from. So you be looking at the closest one. I'm talking about when he moves on us to attack us. This is self-defense. Some of you just sit around, you look at me and say, what is he talking about? So why does he take these subjects? Say, why don't he just stick to the student enrollment and the actual facts? This thing is serious. I only said, don't be upset with me, I only said that it might be the talk on the streets that as Saddam Hussein took hostages in Iraq, that you might have to get yours too when the white attack. White people be at the stoplight, you just jump in the car. Say, make no mistake about it, old buddy. You are my hostage. And everyone should take one home with them. But it's the only way.
Yes, sir.
If the brothers and sisters from Move would have had some white hostages in that, they wouldn't have opened fire on Move the way they did in Philadelphia. If the Black Panther Party would have had some white hostages in there, they wouldn't have opened fire on them the way they opened fire on them. This Saddam Hussein is giving us some good lessons. It's not coming from me. I'm just studying the way this thing is going. War is coming in the streets of America. It is. We're going to have to go through the Red Sea. War, bloodshed, and revolution before Pharaoh Bush's army is drowned in the Red Sea here in America. And before we can go to the promised land.
Yes, sir.
Promised what?
Land.
Did they say promised sky?
No, sir.
Promised what?
Land.
And heaven is in the what? Hereafter, right? Not the thereafter, but the hereafter. It's called the promised land, not the promised sky. Got it? Any more questions so we can... Let me get sister right here.
I would like to know what happened to Minister Farrakhan and WWRL. If people are coming back on or not?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we, in sitting and going over it, going over our future plans, several changes are going to be made. I know you're going to be happy to hear the first one. We're going to move to a place where we have air conditioning. We're going to move to a place where we won't have to have the brothers and sisters on closed circuit in other rooms and auditoriums. We can all be in the same auditorium.
All right.
We're going to move to a place that's not falling down.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
The bathrooms are brand new and clean and ultra modern. The restrooms. Everything is new and the surroundings all around us, the most pleasant for us to invite and bring our people out.
Yes, sir.
We're moving next door.
All right.
also going to, in the process, attempt to move toward progress, further progress, to get the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on WLIB. It will cost us more money, but you'll support Minister Farrakhan on LIB, won't you? You think New York needs to hear from it on LIB? So we are shifting from WWRL in the interest, well, right now it's a financial matter, and then it will be an even greater financial consideration, but we believe that other mosques or temples, mosques in the region will assist us with our radio broadcast. So even though it will be more money, we just got to get someone, hopefully today someone can be assigned who will go to WWRL and get all of the specific information on WWRL, you know, how many watts, and what the range is, and what it, both of them, WWRL, and how many cities it reaches and states, and then get the same on WLIB, and then we will sit and compare the two. But we actually want to be on LIB no matter what.
Yes, sir.
So there are moves where we are leveling off, and everything is going to cost more money. It will cost more money to be in the new building next door. But we will get more of our people, we'll be more comfortable, we'll be happier. Everything will change for us. Oh, these are two major steps that we're working on where LIB is concerned and moving the mosque next door. Are there any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I was being honorable trying to call on children, and within the article it stated that our children today are basically home and not nurtured them the way they were years ago, and they spoke about the bonding process. I wanted to know what the next is on in terms of teaching the mothers to bond with their children, the young and their older children as well.
Well, the Nation of Islam, under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, will be out here in a minute, has always taught the first step, or the number one bonding step, and that is, of course, that we do not turn our babies over to the cow and let Elsie nurse our baby. That we'd feel pretty bad if Elsie, the cow, brought her baby to us for us to nurse her baby. So the nursing process of breastfeeding is a strong bonding process. It bonds mother and baby together, and certain natural things happen that a bottle of milk just can't provide. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said and say that a sick mother's milk is better than a healthy cow's milk. That's what they say. In addition to that, there are other pre-birth bonding steps that can be taken. You should get his tape, which is an excellent series on how to give birth to a God, where he talks about that whole process, spiritual and divine process, and what the mother must do, the future mother must do before the child comes to life, to the light, and what kind of preparation, all of this, even once the life begins to grow inside of her, there's a bonding that can begin even then. And all of this, I hope we have that series here. If we don't, we can get it for you, how to give birth to a God. So the nation does address that, and I believe that series is also being transcribed into book form, so that the sisters can have it in print as well as in audio and in video. Are there other questions? I saw a hand, and here's something. Yes, ma'am. Let me get sister right here. Walaikum salam.
How prepared is the Muslim woman in the struggle of the boy? She prepared for condition or training for
Sister says, how prepared is the Muslim woman in preparation for war? Is she trained, and what else?
To assist the brothers or families.
To assist, yes. Well, as the Nation of Islam, and especially Mosque number 7 here, is being revamped and rebuilt, and spirit and life being put back into us since the nation was destroyed in 1975, all of these components will be a natural part of the FOI and MGT teaching component as we grow and develop more. Sisters will, of course, their classes will be expanded, but now you have the basics and the essentials already in place. But as we go further, and also in the FOI, certain basics and essentials are in place. But that has to be expanded on in both classes and further developed. That's military training, combat, hand-to-hand combat, and canning, and storing of certain foods, and learning how to properly prepare during normal times as well as wartime, foods and the like, how to fight disease and sickness from the kitchen and from the, what do you call it, the pantry, which is the medicine shelf when you properly use it. All of these things are in place already, but they will be expanded on in both classes as we go along. And certain ones of you will come in, and you will take the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to a higher level. When you come in.
That's right.
Where's the brother who had his hand up for a long time?
Right there. Right there.
Yes, sir. Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Yes, sir. I see some familiar faces, brother. Some of us that have found people. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in our midst. And I would just like to know what the Minister Farrakhan have to say about the old soldiers and sisters as well about rebuilding this nation at the present time.
Brother says he sees many faces of those who soldiered before, brothers and sisters. What does Minister Farrakhan have to say about the old soldiers who, in words, struggled and served in the nation under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad directly before? Minister Farrakhan has great love. Where's the brother? Minister Farrakhan has great love for the brothers and sisters who struggled before. And when the brothers and sisters who are what the scriptures call the old seasoned veterans of many campaigns of war, when you begin to return and we put the old and the new together, then this nation will come up overnight.
Yes, sir.
Your training, your experience, your expertise.
Yes, sir.
When you begin to come back, you help us get it up overnight. So he loves you. He is a fit leader to receive you.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Because he was there then and he is here now.
That's right.
And because he was in both periods of our development, he is the best among us.
That's right.
And the most equipped and prepared to receive the old as well as the new.
That's right.
As something that Allah has put in his heart for both of us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Any other hands? Wa alaikum salam.
I'd like to know if the nation here, or are they planning to plan schools like for youth like it was once before? The reason why I asked that is that right now I'm coming back to the nation. And I got a small young niece, she's 15 years old. And I brought her today, and she didn't recognize in herself that she dressed like Muslim sisters. She's 15 years old, and it's like, I see it developing in her. So I said, let me bring her to the nation while I'm trying to get myself together back in the nation. And I want to know if the nation is planning or they have any process of the youth.
Yes, sir. We will have the University of Islam and everything back in place.
Yes, sir.
Again, the key to the University of Islam being established is right out here.
That's
and
right.
some who are out
That's
there.
right.
Some of you have the skill and the ability already. We have the program and the basic curriculum. We need to get the University of Islam started, and many of you are equipped and prepared to do that already. Oh, let's see. Let me get brother's hand. Quickly, sir. Let's get the questions we have. Yes, sir. Right here in the front row. Yes, sir. Walaikum salam. I'm sorry? What about him? I talked to him on the phone 2 nights ago. Brother Adam Abdul Hakim, he called me from prison. In fact, I've spoken to him over the past week or so 2 or 3 times. Absolutely. 100%.
Sir.
We intend to support him.
I'd just like to make a statement, Minister, that we shouldn't drop out Islam once we handle it. You know, because like when we go to work or something like that, our sisters should continue to wear our headpieces as the minister suggested, and the brothers shouldn't be afraid to speak to their sisters on their job. I mean, I don't understand why. I just wanted to make that statement.
Absolutely correct.
That's right.
We shouldn't be afraid to speak to each other, come to each other's aid,
That's
and
right.
show the kind of familyhood that we should show
That's right.
wherever we are.
That's right.
There are some sisters who do not wear the headpiece. They wear other things where, depending on where they work, they still maintain a certain modesty about themselves, but they wear different things depending on where they are at the time. So, of course, we understand that. Are there any other questions? Man. It's going to get too hot. You know, they're going to get upset with me. Yes, sir.
One question, sir.
Yes, sir.
The media, the white man's media coming down with America being this and being that. There ain't no real reason. What is the reason behind us being over there in the first place? What is like the manipulation of the media? We got a lot of young brothers doing that Marine thing, and it ain't no thing. It ain't nothing happening there. So why, you know, what is the science behind us being over there? You know, I know it's more, it's the oil and all this other crap.
They get a little upset with you, and I'll tell you why. You hear them. They're upset because you said twice, our being over there. It's their being over there. They are over there because they want to rule and control perpetually the world. They are over there because if Saddam Hussein controls the oil in Iraq, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia, I believe he will control over 50% of the world's oil reserves.
That's right.
They're over there because the oil is the lifeblood of the white world.
That's right.
And they're over there also because they want to make sure that nothing happens to Israel, their baby over there.
That's right.
And it's a power play. You know, the white man goes everywhere, conquering everybody. He always did. Iran, Iraq, or Kuwait is no different than Grenada, than Africa, than Japan, than the world, 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. He has his space exploration. He's just got to go somewhere. Can you imagine a cracker going all the way to the moon? Just to put a rag on the moon, a red, white, and blue rag, stick the rag, you know, on a pole and say, I left my rag up on the moon. But that's the kind of ego this fellow has. So, brother, that's why he's over there. But we have no business over there. They are over there, not we. Yes, sir. Walaikum salam, sir.
You mentioned that during the Japanese War, they had held different Japanese that was in America, concentration camps, prisons, whatever. While the war is going on over there, you have a powerful organization, Jewish organization called
JDL, and had this big, strong guy called Air Rubin. When he used this opportunity to capitalize on it and move against Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam as he done in the past,
we put so much fear in Herb Rubin. I don't know if Herb Rubin would even show his face. In fact, we're going to show an excerpt of that, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
We can get get it into Brother Captain's schedule tomorrow night with his permission, show an excerpt of our direct confrontation with the Jews in L.A. I wish we were trying to get some footage on our confrontation with the Klan, when we made the Klan back down. Punk the Klan out. Right. And also, see, it's one thing to talk about things, but direct eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation.
That's right.
And when the Jewish Defense League showed up at the Los Angeles Convention Center talking about death to Farrakhan, many times the brothers of different ones would say, "Oh, leave it alone." But I was there that day.
That's right. That's right.
We don't leave nothing down. Handpicked some of the brothers that I knew were real rollers. And we went straight out on them and drove them away from the convention center. You see one of the brothers, big black brother with me. Jew running off at the mouth, the brother smacked him. Pow! We couldn't get him to say nothing. I moved on your boy, Herb Rubin.
That's right.
Straight in his face.
That's right.
Called for Minister Farrakhan's death to my face.
That's right.
As Professor X would say, sissy. Call for Minister Farrakhan's death to our face and you'll die right here. This is a news report. These are all news clips.
That's right.
And we drove him and said that JDL fled on foot, the news reporter said. We drove him away and then spoke to the media. They came and interviewed us and said, Herb Rubin calls for Minister Farrakhan's death when we're not around. But when we are around, I said, Herb Rubin ran like a little sissy out here today.
That's right.
But it's all on video. Then the news reporter closes out his report. He said, this is so-and-so, so-and-so. You know how crackers can be at the Los Angeles Convention Center. He said, if the Jewish Defense League intended to make a showing here today, it was certainly muffled quickly by the fruit of Islam forces. Some of the clippings on the Klan confrontations with Bill Wilkinson, Imperial Grand Wizard or Grand Dragon. We ride them all, don't make no difference.
That's right.
That's the kind of stuff we got to do in New York. We got to go to Howard Beach. Thousands of us roll through Howard Beach. And let a cracker run out on the sidewalk and saying anything. We mop the sidewalk. Go to Tibet. We go to all of them.
That's right.
To find Bernard Getz in the book. So you got to have some showdown. Otherwise, it's just hype. You would think the Jewish Defense, Herb Rubin had intimidated everybody with the Jewish Defense League. They went to Jesse Jackson's headquarters in Los Angeles and beat on the walls with baseball bats and tied a live pig to his doorknob and intimidated all of his staff, and none of the men came out of Operation Push for Excel's office. Come up just talking about killing Minister Farrakhan.
Right. Come on, right? Send the junior boy down.
See, we have to, that's right. I love it too. That's the way we gotta be. There's gotta be so many of us until we have to put some of our tallest ones around, so while we stomping whoever it is, the cameras can't pick up who it is that started. And when the smoke clear, we step right over them and leave them there and pull on up. Move out.
That's right.
But that's what we're looking for. We got to go and confront all of these lanes. Everywhere.
That's right.
You for that?
Yes,
We're looking for those kind of black men. If you're not for that, just come on and study with us, because we have to study. And we, nothing wrong with study. Come on and study. We got something for everybody. And I want to be with the group that prays and studies and goes out and throw down when it's time to throw down. Whatever we are to defend ourselves. Yes, ma'am. Wa alaikum salam.
Being a secretary in this American world out here for 10 years, sometimes the white devil would provoke me in my secretarialism, which I call it nothing but a sophisticated name for slavery. Sometimes my peers and my bosses, being of the white caliber, would provoke me into doing something that I do not want to do, that I feel that is wrong towards my heritage or would below me. And sometimes I would have to take a step down as far as moving my job behind me. And I feel that sometimes when this happens, I begin to rebel really bad against it, to the point that I would feel like in my head it would tell me to take one of these girls to the bathroom and really work them over. Agree with them sometimes when I don't want to, and I really would like to know, how can I work this out with myself and with my conscience when I know it's not really what I really believe in?
I understand.
And it really deters me, because being the black woman that I am, I stick up for my black kind, I stick up for my black brother.
We have to take her to visit hers with us. I think she has to go to Howard Beach with us when we go. There's a book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And sometimes, you have to make a noise in the east and strike in the west. Sometimes when the enemy advances and attacks, sometimes you have to appear to be weak and appear to retreat. And then there are other times when the enemy appears to be weak, appears to be asleep, then you attack. There are times when you attack the enemy from different points or flanks that the enemy does not expect. Sometimes he expects us to come physical for physical. He expects us to come this way or that way. But when we come from another plane or another plane, he's not able to deal with that. So you hassle him and harass him from this point, and when he attempts to cover that point, you harass him from another point. When he attempts in this angle, you've got to be able to move on all flanks. But wisdom is always necessary. But if you take one up in the bathroom and punch him in the mouth, call us, we'll get you out. The sister seems serious. We should get the bail money ready now.
That's right.
If you can use tact and wisdom, just understand that you're not so much compromising yourself. Stand up for your principles and all of that. But again, understand that you're working behind enemy lines.
Right.
Your objective is to go behind enemy lines and get something that will benefit you, your family, or you and your babies and your people, and then come back and put it to the best use. Rather than fighting so many little battles until we lose the war. But don't lose your edge. So sometimes you have to have little skirmishes like that in order to stay in shape. But use the best of wisdom at all times. Brothers and sisters, this is just too hot to stay here all day. Yes, sir. Walaikum salam, sir. Yes, sir. We're working on something now. We'll have to let you know more about it in the very near future. Brothers and sisters, I have to cut it off. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Speaking of war, I just want to bring up about the mother.
That's another whole subject that would be so deep.
Dealing with the Armageddon, man.
I respect that. But I would ask that you hold it because there are so many who don't know about the subject. Only we, the Muslims, and those who have studied, and it would require me to go into a long or lengthy explanation in order to then answer your question. But then some of them think we're crazy anyway if I don't give enough understanding to it. So it's a subject that we're going to have to teach, just like on the flag, in order to go into it deeper. But it's a valid point.
Talk to you about it
Later, if not today, later then we can get around to it. But let's try some of it before you leave today. Brothers and sisters, can't take it anymore. Go ahead.
I want to say all praise to all the ministers around the world, all beautiful black sisters, all beautiful black brothers.
Peace to you, man. All praise is due to Allah for you. Brothers and sisters, how many of you here today for your first time? Let me see your black hand. I promise you we're working hard. We should go over the legal documents and everything at the end of next week. And just a few more weeks before we can get out of here. But we've got to hurry and get the new unit put in. The whole, it's a monstrous system of air and central air and heating unit that has to be put into next door for us. So we're going to be working very fast so that you'll be comfortable when you come. And all of the brothers and sisters who come every week but can't deal with this heat will be jam-packed to the rafters. I believe we can get as many as 1,000, 12, 1,300. How many of you today believe what you heard to be the truth and good for black people? Let me see your black hand. You believe in the truth and good? Look at the hand. Look at the hand. How many of you believe that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has given to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan the best program for black people? Let me see your hand. How many of you believe that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the premier leader of the day and is the man of the hour, and that we can best get out of this condition if we would unite behind his leadership? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let me see your hand. All right.
Yes.
Man, let the church say amen. Looks great. Those of you who would like to unite, can we pass? Would you hold your hands up? If you have not filled out one of these interest cards, would you hold your hands up right where you are and they'll pass them to you? Hold your hands up quickly so they can pass them. Sisters? Some may not have taken out a card even if it's their 5th or 6th or 7th.
Right. Let's go. First time. That's right.
Okay, while we're doing that, let's make sure that everyone has a pencil or a pen to fill them out. We want, can you hear me? All men. How many registered FOI we have? All registered FOI. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
There's a special emergency, crisis agenda, urgent, am I strong enough?
Yes, sir.
Urgent FOI meeting tomorrow night. Brother Captain William Muhammad and I will meet you here.
Yes, sir.
At 7:30 sharp.
Yes, sir.
That means you should be here at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in your seat.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Call every registered FOI that you know. Now, how many will actually do that? Your word is bond. You will use your telephone and call every registered brother that you know with an X to be here to this emergency meeting tomorrow night. How many of you will be here? How many of you will call at least 10 brothers to get them here? Word is bond.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to ask you, don't lie to yourself.
That's right. Come on.
Some should call 20 or 30 just in case somebody whose hand is up will not do it. We want it packed in here tomorrow night, both sides.
That's right.
Will you take it upon yourselves to get all of your brothers out tomorrow night?
Yes, sir.
Who will do that? Those who will do it front and center up front. Okay. As word is bond.
Yes, sir.
You'll call not just 10, you'll call everyone you know and then call some others and get some more numbers to have them here.
Yes, sir.